Pep Guardiola has changed Manchester City again. It never feels like a proper Premier League season unless City are quietly creeping back toward the top. Even when doubts appear about form, hunger, or whether they can still push teams like Arsenal, City always return. Because even at their lowest point, Pep never panics. He adapts. And once again, his team has evolved. Anymore, they hurt you. And it all starts with Pep. When Guardiola arrived in England in 2016, there were serious doubts. Could his possession-heavy style survive the Premier League's physicality? Those doubts peaked after a 4-2 loss to Leicester, when Pep was asked why City hadn't won a single tackle in the opening 35 minutes. His response was simple: tackles don't win you football matches. Fast forward nearly a decade, and Pep has proven that point, while also adapting more than anyone else. Second balls, physicality, transitions, City now do all of it. But it didn't happen overnight. Pep's early City side was obsessed with the ball. The arrivals of Walker, Bernardo Silva, Laporte, and Ederson transformed City into one of the most dominant possession teams England had ever seen. Wingers like Sané and Sterling stretched defenses. Midfielders like De Bruyne and David Silva controlled games. City dismantled teams that represented the old-school English style. But injuries eventually exposed flaws. Pressing intensity dropped, spaces opened up. City became vulnerable on the counter, so Pep adjusted. He introduced inverted fullbacks, free number 8s, and later a false 9. City became more compact, better in transition, and more secure defensively. That evolution culminated in domestic dominance, but it wasn't perfect. Erling Haaland changed everything. His arrival in 2022 forced Pep into another shift. Instead of fluid false 9s, City now had a striker who pinned defenders and attacked space relentlessly. Haaland's movement created room for midfield runners, and his goals powered City to a historic treble. But there was a cost. Without an extra attacker floating between the lines, City could sometimes look predictable, especially when Haaland was quiet. So Pep did what Pep always does. He changed the system again. Pep's solution was subtle but brilliant: move John Stones into midfield. By stepping a center-back alongside Rodri, City regained control of central areas without sacrificing defensive security. It was one of the key tweaks behind their dominance. But when Rodri missed most of the 2024-25 season through injury, City became vulnerable again. Once more, Pep adapted. He used center-backs wider in build-up. He prioritized rest defense. And then he made his boldest shift yet. This version of City is different. Pep has signed more ball carriers, Jeremy Doku, Savinho, Ryan Cherki, and moved away from slow, short build-up. City now play longer when needed, compete for second balls, and attack space faster. The Premier League has become more physical and more aggressive in pressing, so City now look to isolate defenders in 1v1 situations. And this is where players like Jeremy Doku come in. Doku, O'Reilly, and reinventing fullbacks. Nico O'Reilly and Mateus Nunes, both natural central players, now operate wide. City often shift into a 4-3-2-1 shape, sometimes called the Christmas tree. Phil Foden looks refreshed. Two attacking midfielders operate behind Haaland, and Doku has been reinvented. On paper, he's a winger. In reality, he's a hybrid. Sometimes he drifts inside to overload midfield. Other times, he stays wide to stretch the pitch. When he moves inside, O'Reilly underlaps. When he stays wide, Nunes supports. This movement makes City unpredictable and deadly. City now score in more ways than ever. They lead the league in cutback goals and first-time finishes. They're more dangerous from set pieces. They counter faster. They dribble more. Interestingly, City now have the lowest share of touches in central attacking areas in the league, but they're still among the top scorers. That's not an accident. Pep has sacrificed control for threat. This isn't peak possession City, it's something else, a more flexible, chaotic version built for the modern Premier League. Doku perfectly represents this new Pep ball. He's not just a touchline winger, he appears everywhere, inside, wide, between the lines, constantly forcing defenders to make decisions. Against Liverpool, he did everything: scored, created chances, won duels, completed dribbles. When Pep joked, "I'm a genius," he was laughing, but the point was clear. He's found another solution. This City team isn't the treble-winning machine. It's not Pep's most dominant side, but it might be his smartest. The players are younger, the system is flexible, the goals are shared, and Pep is still evolving. While everyone focuses on Arsenal and Liverpool, don't forget about Manchester City, because every time we think Pep Guardiola has been figured out, he changes the game. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to help it reach more people. See you in the next video.